New at 6, a local group reacts to Louisiana's push to aid foster care programs across the state. It's a heartwarming story that you don't want to miss.
When fate intervenes, hear how a victim reacts after a man who robbed him is then suddenly hit by a bus. Details straight ahead.
And rain is going to continue off and on this weekend. It's going to impact some of those weekend activities. I'll be back in a moment tracking the wet weather in your forecast. Full hour coverage you can count on starts right now.
Broadcasting live with coverage you can count on. This is KSLA News 12 at 6.
Clearly, not everybody's called to be a foster parent, but everybody can have a role in supporting the people that are foster parents.
Secretary of the Department of Children and Family Services, Marquita Walters, addressing the need for foster care support. Louisiana's First Lady has launched the website, louisianafosters.com, to connect foster parents with assistance from businesses, church groups, nonprofits, and others willing to provide a support network. The new initiative, Louisiana Fosters, is a way to help DCFS by bringing awareness to the groups already helping across the state. Well, help for foster care parents and children comes in many forms.
And as Marie Waxel explains, one local group committed to helping to ease the transition of custody is thrilled with the state's new push to supporting the foster care program.
On any given day, there are about 4,300 children in the state's care.
DCFS Secretary Marquita Walters hopes the new movement will motivate people to help.
We are asking the community to step up and help us in caring for foster parents and giving them the support that, quite frankly, the state can't do.
Something Casey Kilpatrick has witnessed firsthand as a foster parent.
These kids that we had came dirty and disheveled and without all the basics they needed. And it was really obviously a traumatic, sad situation that they came from. And when they came to our house, then we had to try to hurry up and find the things that they need.
Kilpatrick knew something had to be done. And out of the back of her car, she began collecting items to have on hand for foster families. And from it, Go Bags was born.
It costs about $50, and it's a pack of new underwear, a pair of pajamas, toiletries and right-size accessories that they need and necessities, and a comfort item. So that could be a blanket, it could be a book, it could be a magazine, it could be just really anything that the community's given that you think children 0 to 18 would need.
These bags serving as a life-changing gift during the darkest of hours.
Just to be reminded there are people in the world that love, you know, that moment of fear and that moment of pain, to switch that script just a little bit, to remember that you're loved and you're wanted. It's about dignity and it's about hope for their future.
Marie Waxel, KSLA News 12.
And for more information on the First Lady's initiative and Go Bags, you can find this report when you open up the KSLA News 12 mobile app. Just click on the local tab.
An update tonight on a suspected burglar who was stopped in his tracks after running out in front of a city Sportran bus.
Yeah, he was hit by that bus, and instead of making it to his reported getaway car, he caught a ride in an ambulance instead. As KSLA News 12's Nick Lawton shows us, the theft victim is happy that fate intervened.
Veteran Alfred Thomas woke up just after midnight Friday morning to police in his room at the Holiday Inn.
I want to know if I owned a Toyota pickup, and I said yes, and he said somebody broke into your toolbox downstairs.
Shreveport police report 49-year-old James Dilworth broke into Thomas's toolbox in the back of his truck. Thomas tells us he was in town for a cancer treatment at the VA hospital. Police report Dilworth was carrying Thomas's tools back and forth across the street.
He had a couple of toolboxes, a couple of drills and stuff of mine.
But as it happened that morning, Dilworth was stopped by oncoming traffic. Shreveport police report a hotel employee called out to the attempted thief as he ran into the 800 block of North Spring Street. That's when a Sportran bus hit him.
He was outside of a designated crosswalk, and it was at night in 100 block Lake Street. There's not a whole lot, as I remember it, there's not a whole lot of light in that along that block there.
Sportran officials told KSLA their driver reported not seeing Dilworth because he was dressed in all black. He was taken to University Health Hospital while Thomas got every tool back. The veteran says after this morning, he'll never complain about the bus again.
Right for the city bus. You know, I've been stopped a few times by the bus and grabbed and complained. I won't do that no more.
That's right. Reporting in Shreveport, Nick Lawton, KSLA, News 12.
And Shreveport PD tells us Dilworth recovered at the hospital, was released into their custody. He's now charged with simple burglary, which could carry a sentence of up to 12 years in prison.
An update tonight on the ongoing manhunt for our armed escaped inmate. Tonight, Oklahoma Highway Patrol tells us Aaron Victory escaped through a vent in the jail's gym. They tell us a $2,500 reward is now being offered for information leading to the inmate's recapture. Victory escaped from Choctaw County Jail late Monday night. He is a federal inmate who has a history of shooting at law enforcement. We're told he may have family in the Hayworth area. If you see him, call 911 immediately. And you can follow these stories and any breaking news on our KSLA News 12 app. It's free to download. It's coverage you can click on.
All right, Jeff joining us now. The weight of the weekend on Mr. Castle's shoulders. A lot of scattered storms. Everybody wants to know, will this pattern continue through the weekend?
Unfortunately, no, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But at the same time, Doug, it's not going to be a total rain out for the weekend as well. In fact, tomorrow may not be super soggy here around the Arklatex. Sunday probably will be a different story. And we'll, of course, break it all down for you in your forecast in just a few moments. Let's talk about rain that we have out there for you Friday evening, and especially around the I-20 corridor. That's where most of the rain activity here for the late afternoon hours is found. If you are getting ready to head out here, especially around Shreveport and Bossier City, keep in mind there is going to be a little more wet weather. We've already had a couple showers around Shreveport and Bossier, and still have some heavier downpours near Marshall, near Oil City, south of Spring Hill. Another big heavier thunder shower showing up around Ringgold, and everything is dropping south and eastward. So all along the I-20 corridor, fair game for picking up some additional rainfall over the next couple of hours. So plan accordingly. Grab the umbrella before you head out to dinner this evening. Where it's not rain, temperatures are running back into the low and mid 90s. Minden seen some rain track through. That's cooled you down to 81 degrees there. The rest of us, if you see rain, can look forward to a temperature drop this evening. Otherwise, we gradually fall back through the 80s, eventually into the upper 70s by early tomorrow morning. Best chance for rain will be through the evening hours, as a lot of that wet weather is expected to dry up overnight tonight. Back in a few moments, we've got more active weather to track for the weekend. Again, I'll break it all down for you on the way in your forecast.
A KSLA News 12 alert, a boil advisory for customers with the Blanchard water system has been lifted. That advisory was issued due to a water main break earlier this week. Samples were collected yesterday. They have since again given the all clear.
And let's take a look at traffic on I-20 at Common. This is the DOTD camera. As you can see, everything smooth sailing on the road. No backups or accidents to report at this time.
New at 6, a meeting of the business minds held today in Texarkana, helping business owners and employees understand the latest laws on business regulations. The Texas Workforce Commission hosted the business conference today. Close to 200 area employees or employers and business owners were there. The commission brought the group up to date on a number of laws regulating businesses in the Lone Star State and other services provided by the state. Workforce Commissioner Ruth Hughes says the business climate in Texas is in a good place.
Texas is wide open for business, as is actually the website for the governor's office, and we're doing very well. We're very competitive. We keep our taxes low, our regulations reasonable, and we really focus on our quality talent pipeline. I think this.
We're less than 24 hours away from saying farewell to 7-year-old Deshaun Conbez. You may remember Deshaun's body was found after he fell into a rain-filled ditch behind his home in Shreveport. Deshaun's funeral is scheduled for 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Winfield Funeral Home on Hollywood Avenue. A GoFundMe was set up for the family's expenses, and the Professional Firefighters Credit Union also set up an account for Deshaun's family. If you'd like to donate, you can find links to both of those on KSLA.com.
In 3 minutes, here the latest on the special session in Texas, how lawmakers are discussing a proposal that could affect property lines and property taxes. Jeff?
And heavy rainfall possibility this weekend in some parts of the Arklatex. We'll talk more about that. Tracking the storms hour by hour coming up in your forecast after this break. Stay with us.